97% customer satisfaction rating.
Wow.
Our cats just love great customers.
What's up? Stand up and say what's up. People over there, what's up? Feel me, stand up and say what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You can get with this, or you can get with that. You better get with this, cause this is where it's at. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Baby, skipping and jumping, leaving the competition, making them disappear like a favorite magician. I'd rather till the wheels fall off, and I'm bouncing back to back till the next gets soft. Most of the time you see me, I'm just being simple. Give me the time, body, what's like a pimple. Stating my claim to fame, to be one of the baddest. Just step foot in this game, and I haven't even started yet. But you can better believe I'ma take it off and show shot back. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Say you won't.
They came from the streets, no crown, no gold, just a bond so tight, unbreakable and bold. David's got the fire, young and wild, pops with the whistle, old school style. Hand in hand, they rise, no fear, no shame. Every ring they step in, they're changing the game. Underdogs, but watching climb to the top. David and Pops, the fight never stops. Ragtag kings, we run this town. David and Pops, we ain't backing down. From the bottom to the throne, we rise above. In the ring, it's blood, sweat, and love. We're the best tag team, you better believe. Ragtag kings, it's our time to seize.
Yeah, it's shitty right now.
David hits the ropes, flying high with grace. Pops with the power, putting fools in the place. They got that grit, they got that heart. Terror brought teams right from the start. From the youngest lions to the old wise wolves. They know how to fight, how to break the rules. No one can match the chemistry they bring. Together they're unbreakable, tag team kings. Ragtag kings, we run this town. David and Pops, we ain't backing down. From the bottom to the throne, we rise above. In the ring, it's blood, sweat, and love. We're the best tag team, you better believe. Ragtag kings, it's our time to seize. Pops with the lock, David with the dive. In every battle, we come out alive. No matter the odds, no matter the pain. David and Pops always bring the rain. Ragtag kings, we run this town. David and Pops, we ain't backing down. From the bottom to the throne, we rise above. In the ring, it's blood, sweat, and love. We're the best tag team, you better believe. Ragtag kings, it's our time to seize. We're coming for glory, coming for pride. David and Pops always side by side. Ragtag kings, forever we reign. In the ring of legends, remember our name.
Welcome in, everyone.
Hello, hello. It's another week. Well, I was keeping the peace sign.
Oh, I thought you were counting down.
Oh. No, it's time to give a peace sign.
Yeah, it was funny. Hello, everyone. I took a big
How's everybody
nap
doing?
today. Woke up about 15 minutes ago. So good morning, everyone.
Been up all day?
Hope everyone is having a good Monday. It's not our usual stream day, but I have to work tomorrow, so we are switching things up a bit.
We're doing it on Monday instead of Tuesday. Hopefully we can go back to our regular schedule. Next week.
Next week, hopefully.
But hey, you get to watch us before we watch tonight's breaking news episode of Raw will happen tonight.
Let's get right into it. We'll start with our Money in the Bank predictions recap. And we'll also talk about...
I've been looking forward to this for like the last couple days.
So as you can tell by the cockiness and Pops'... Hold on.
It's not my fault. I'm such an expert.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. Pops won predictions because WWE hates me. This won't be in order, obviously, but we'll go down. We'll talk about the matches as we read them off. The Women's Intercontinental Championship match, I chose Lyra. Pops chose Becky. Becky winning.
And new.
Becky Hogan, of course. Not gonna put people on.
I mean, it was inevitable. I just knew.
It's
In
gonna.
my heart,
Oh no, go ahead. Why did
And
you
at the
choose
end-
Becky?
because she's got to take it. She did, and she's never held it before. She's never beat Valerie, and you know what I'm saying. So it's got to be all of a sudden, you know.
They're 1-1 now. So
Yeah.
as much
No,
as
they're
I
two. No, it's 2-1 to Valerie for what?
Lyra?
Valkyria.
Valkyria,
Alright.
not Valerie.
Right.
Where the fuck you're getting Valerie from? But yeah, fuck Becky Hogan. All in all, it does make for a better match coming into what I'm guessing is either not Survivor Series, either SummerSlam or Evolution.
Right, because she'll get a rematch and this and that.
But I think the
Becky will be
ending.
able to make
I
it
knew
2-0.
once I found out the stipulation that I can't wrestle for that belt as long as you hold it. I knew exactly that.
Right. And I don't like that ending. Well, I did and I don't. I didn't like that Becky like forced her to hold her hand up
that
and
was-
shit like that.
That was disrespectful, in my opinion.
But then I like what she did. She fucking floored her.
Alright. So that was a good match. If you can give that match a rating, that's what we'll do. Give that match a rating. What would you rate it?
Scale 1 to 10.
That's usually how scales work.
Give it about an 8.5.
I'll give it a 7. Just because the person I wanted to win. Okay, and full transparency, everyone. I watched this pay-per-view on my phone at work. So, shout out.
I watched it from my bed on the big screen.
Next up, Women's Money in the Bank. This was the opener of the show. Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss versus Julia.
And I agree. Bliss got screwed.
Winner. Well, I chose Roxanne Perez. Pops chose Alexa Bliss, but neither of us won because Naomi won.
Who was the favorite going into it, I guess? And we should have both looked at it as she was the one that had the most experience and this and that. But I didn't think they were going to give her another push. She had been a world champion before and this and that. And I didn't. And I don't care what people say. It's not because of who her husband is.
Yeah,
You know,
there was a big discussion at my work that she got her win because of her husband. What is her husband doing? Not getting pushed. So that's not upset that my pick didn't win, but not upset that Naomi won.
Right. True.
Naomi deserves it. She's a very good
Yeah.
wrestler. Bro, calm down.
I'm trying to get it so I can. There you go. So you can see our well-paid advertisement. On
Yeah,
that
she
chest.
did deserve the win. If you'd like to get a shirt that Pops is wearing, exclamation point merch in the chat. We'll bring you to our merch channel. But yeah, I agree. She did deserve the win. I hope she wins I hope she wins the title. I hope. And what I want to see is, I know it's eventually going to happen. I want to see Naomi versus Jade for the title. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pops wanted Bliss. I wanted Roxanne Perez.
But and even if you go back and you can listen, you can go on to YouTube and you can listen to the prediction show. With Naomi being Naomi, you know, I wasn't mad with anybody that would have won, could have won it. You know what I mean? Except for, yeah,
Exactly.
I really didn't want what's her name.
I didn't want. The only person I didn't want to win it was Rhea Ripley. And
Rhea Ripley, yeah.
It's weird to
And
say
not that I hate Rhea Ripley.
as a fan of Rhea Ripley, but she has the authority to just walk in and say, "Hey, I want a title shot." She gets it.
I agree, Tony. She does. There's another championship before she goes, and she even talked in a post thing press conference about leaving the company and coming back, and you know how hard it was for her to be. You know, she had to go and find out that the waters weren't too great elsewhere, and then when she came back, you know, because she had a hard time when she was in the Indies and this and that.
Yeah, Tony. I think so. That's what I think is like the next. Rhea Ripley will definitely win the Money in the Bank eventually. I just don't think it'll be this year.
And I like her answer to why this was her first one. Because she's usually a champion. She don't have to win Money in the Bank. She just wins it.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, Korean, when we get to the... rate this match. I gave it a 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I'm going to go right about the same.
Next up...
I'm a high rater.
We'll talk...
Because I did enjoy this show.
Men's Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins, LA Knight,
10.
Penta, Solo, Andrade, El Grande. I said Penta. I don't know why I said Penta. I'm straight up stupid, I guess. You know, put the guy that's been in the most ladder matches. But, yeah. Seth Rollins. Pops chose Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins won. Whatever. That won Pops' predictions. Yes, Tony. I do think the women's was better than the men's. But there was certain spots where I was like, shit.
I agree. Okay, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just going to say, I also agree with Tony, but because I haven't given my rating out yet, but I'm giving my rating on the end of that match more than the match itself. I mean, there wasn't that great as of spots. The women had a lot of good spots and this and that. But I'm giving what happened, and I don't know if we're going to discuss that now or not. Are we going to discuss it?
Go ahead. If you want to bring it up, you can tell it.
Well, you do better with the names. I just like that spot at the end where all of a sudden you think that, you know, oh, okay, Solo's going to win it. Solo's going to take it.
All right, I got you. So you think Solo's going to win, and Jacob and Solo are left in the ring. Jacob pulls down Solo. People are saying that Jacob Fatu didn't turn face, but Solo was going to turn face last night. No, last night, Saturday night. Jacob turned face. Solo's still a heel.
I hate you, right? Solo's going to remain the heel, and we're going to have a face, Jacob Fatu, just like it should be. Because the man's great. He's going to be good.
Doing the shit.
I'm looking forward to tonight.
I love the match. I think the match was great. Penta's, one of the best. I hate El Grande Americano. I was very upset that he was in the match, but I'm glad he didn't win.
I mean, I'm sorry.
But it was a good match.
Chad Gable.
All of a sudden. Like,
Chad Gable, I've always liked Chad Gable.
Not all of a sudden.
He is funny. He's pulling off a very funny Kurt English, Hulk Hogan, you know, underneath the mask and this and that. But if he could just stop using,
I want him to be unmasked.
yeah. If he could just, unmask and stop using the thing and, well, let's unmask him and let's figure that out and stuff like that. Because everybody knows who he is, just like when Hogan did it, just when, you know, God rest his soul, Owen did it and this and that, and they went and became a new character underneath the mask.
I think, but the thing is I will say I didn't want him in the match because he was in another match and so was Stephanie Vakir, but both of them put on hellacious matches to do what they did and then go into a ladder match and put
especially
on a performance.
that match he had with Whitmer earlier in the day.
We'll talk about that after, because I want your rating on this, and then we'll get into the main event, and then
Rating on this is 9.5.
I'll give it
And like I said, it's not because of the match itself. Huh?
I'll give it an 8.
And it's not because of like the spots in this, but the things that happened there at the end. And I'm gonna have to say I enjoyed it just as much, just a little tad more than I did the ladies.
And I will say that, you know what, and we'll get into one of our other topics before we get to that, before we get into the main event, because this does have to coincide with the ladder match. I'm sick and tired already of the fucking gimmick, fucking sponsored gimmick, fucking ladders. Why? And now, look at it this way. Ready?
A discussion with somebody who lives here about that. I was that fucking red fucking roof, whatever.
No.
Red hot ladder and
Was
shit,
a
and fucking
fireball
Slim
ladder.
Jims and fucking Cash App all over the place.
Yeah, it was a fireball ladder. There was a Cash App Money in the Bank briefcase. Slim Jim tables. Okay. Now look at it as hold on. Ready? We're gonna fast forward to next year.
Yeah.
You let whoever climbs that final ladder, you know how there's always that one spot where they finally climb that ladder. What was the ladder this time? The fireball ladder. Next year, Minute Maid Lemonade ladder comes out. Gets set up. Whoever's climbing that ladder at the end, that's who wins it. You're not gonna... It's gonna be the gimmick ladder.
Right now, so now from now on,
You know who's
I
gonna
agree
win.
100%.
It's
You're gonna be like, oh, you know, okay, yeah, they knocked one down, but I thought at that point in time when that first one went up, you know,
I don't know why I grabbed this. This is great value. This is not Minute Maid.
Great value is great stuff. Starburst. It could be Starburst, Sparkling Ice.
But TK, yeah, like Blue said, TKO is trying to make money wherever they can, and it's all sponsors, and it all cracked.
Because that's exactly what Derek, my roommate Derek, said. They got to make money because they're losing money, their hands over fist, with their WWE product. And then after he told, after we talked about it, I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with him, but I hate the gimmick thing.
Yeah, we'll talk more TKO stuff after. But our main event, John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes win with the help of a certain Ron Killings interfering in the match. Like I said, I was watching this at work. My phone was on about 6%, and seen someone run in, tackle Cena, punching, kicking Cena, and I'm like, that's not Travis Scott. Couldn't think. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of anyone else. It's like, that's not Travis Scott. Pulls off that fucking mask. R-Truth, Ron Killings. I fucking ran to the back of the store because my coworker Brian, who I was watching most of the pay-per-view with, was doing dishes. You better be saying dumbest thing ever of him getting fired and not him coming in. Because I popped like a little girl. I got fucking chills. I had to call my father. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, fucking amazing. Cody Rhodes pins John Cena, which I didn't think John Cena was taking the pin, but it makes more sense at the end of the day.
Who says it right there?
Exactly.
Not that WWE gimmick.
It's not.
Yeah.
He's not under R-Truth anymore.
He didn't want that. And but delving into it, I thought Triple H was saying, "Oh, it was a work, and we knew it all the time." No, they didn't know until 24 hours before the pay-per-view that he was going to come and do it.
Yes, and he was reaching out to multiple WWE people because they heard our voice.
They actually listened.
For once, and that's what everyone's saying is, I'm sick of hearing, oh, you need to apologize to WWE because you got worked. You got worked because they kept him on contract. No, they did not. They fired him. We revolted, as we have done multiple times now, as a fan base, and then multiple WWE contacts messaged R-Truth, tried to email him, get a hold of him, and he did not answer a single thing until Nick Khan personally called him. And when he personally called him, he...
Mahone, we are.
Thank you. Yes, Mahone, we are doing good. Thank you. Hope you are doing well as well. But multiple contacts, but he didn't answer until Nick Khan called him, gave him guessing a hefty, very hefty contract, because he came back, and he's not doing the R-Truth thing. I hope he doesn't, because I want to see Ron the Truth Killings become a world champion.
Yeah, that Ron the Truth Killings, the former NWA champion. Not just TNA. It was back when he won it. Was when TNA was NWA, so he was the NWA World Champion. You know who else held that belt? Let me tell you. Can I get you? Well. Let me tell you something. My man Dusty Rhodes. That's right. He held that same belt there. Holly Race held that same belt. Let me tell you some other names. I can go on and on. Adam Pearce held that belt. AJ Styles held that NWA belt. Sorry.
Yeah, I still hate NWA.
I want that Ron Killings.
Well, thank
you.
you.
He was badass.
Thank you, Mahone, for bringing us into someone who was styling and profiling. We would like to keep this, we're going to keep it very short and sweet, because I don't like that man. Pops does. Ric Flair, I'd seen somewhere
we didn't rate that.
I gave it a 10.
Final one. You gave it a what?
A 10. Oh shit, Pops went dark.
Okay. I give it an 8.4.
8.4. Gotcha.
Just because I enjoyed it. You know, I won. You didn't even... And
because of Seth Rollins, you won. Congratulations.
That's right. And Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Whatever.
I basically crushed you.
Sure. Mahone said someone who was styling profiling. Reports came out saying that Ric Flair has been diagnosed with skin cancer. The second time in 3 years. So we will give our condolences to Ric Flair.
Karma's a bitch.
Karma is a bitch, and that's where we end that. If you watched last week's episode, you understand. Nope.
I have always defended the man, and I gotta say a piece.
And I told you that we're keeping it short and sweet.
Okay, I just got it real quick. Karma is kind of a bitch. That's all I really want to say. But he thought it would be funny to make what he thought was a funny joke, but I bet you he's not very happy now if somebody was to make a funny joke about him. Hashtag fuck you cancer.
Exactly.
So I'm done.
I know. I'm looking for the next thing. We could talk about. So Blue gave the PLE overall a 6.2. What's your overall rating of the PLE?
Overall rating, I'm going to go, and like I said before, I'm always high when it comes to these ratings kind of things. But I'm going to give it an 8.
Due to my circumstances of watching it on my phone at work, I'll give it a 7. But what I didn't watch on my phone...
I win. I just
Yeah, when I win. Oh, I win something. Oh, it's so good. I win. What I didn't watch on my phone was GCW's Tournament of Survival that was this weekend. The participants... I'm looking for it.
Blade.
Participants were Matt Tremont, Dr. Redacted, Daiju Wakamatsu, The Bev, Otis Kogar, John Wayne Murdoch, Mr. Danger, Beastman, and a mystery opponent. And that mystery opponent was Shotzi Blackheart. Wrestling was in LA the night before. Made it to New Jersey. Okay, that was stupid. Made it to New Jersey. And, yeah. It was a hell of a fucking match. This is where Pops ignores me for the next 20 minutes because he's going to be on his phone.
No, I have to make sure my phone is plugged in there, baby.
So, let's bring this up. Bring this on the screen.
Oh, it's at 100%.
So this, there we see Shotzi right here. Let me move Pops out of the way.
What?
See Shotzi right here. I was moving on my screen. Shut up. This is before the Tournament of Survival. And this was after the Tournament of Survival in the round 1, going up against Matt Tremont and Jimmy Lloyd. She was added to the match. Matt Tremont would also face Otis Kogar in the finals. Well, there you go. See it right there. His 10th tournament win on GCW's. What are you giggling about?
The fucking cat is staring me down. Please,
You need to stop, smoking weed or something. The 10th tournament win on Tournament of Survival 10. Our boy, Matt Tremont. The only thing that has eluded him, his deathmatch career.
I was going to say,
Yeah, she was pulling off spots that were fucking insane. That was it was a good match all around. It was a great show. The next night was Cage of Survival. We had the Bear Bronson's first ever death match. And I tell you what, from the hold on, I'll get this loaded up. For the first ever death match he's ever been in. Are you watching, Father?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. Why is it?
I'm sure it's not 130 seconds.
It just
Something
fucking.
he had to do.
That was a gusset plate door. I don't know why it's not fucking loading. It's pissing me off. But gusset plate door. That was the opener of the match. Slade ended up winning. And I'm letting you know. Graphic warning. Lots of blood. If you're squeamish, look away. This was Bear Bronson's back.
Jesus.
This is about 3 minutes into the show.
God damn.
Glistening with blood, glistening with light tubes. It was just...
This was night one stuff, right?
No, this is the second night. This is the...
Oh, stuff I didn't get to see.
I didn't watch that either. So it's okay. They were fighting at one point in the parking lot and the outside area.
Yeah, that was the GCW versus what you were doing, man.
Yeah, there was GCW versus JCW. I didn't even read the full card. I just read the...
Yeah. Jeez. That was fucking intense. Oh, Blue, you should have saw that match. That was fucking... The Juggalo Championship Wrestling versus GCW. I fucking, like, everybody on both rosters
Charles
was out
Mason
there.
versus Jamie Lynn Senegal. I think her name is. I don't know how to say it. Masha Slamovich versus KJ Orso. Masha Slamovich won that match. It was for the JCW World Championship.
Can you hear that?
No.
Sounds like a car engine.
It's probably a car
Coming through
outside.
the microphone. No, I got a walkie. I'm going to be getting one soon.
That's great. Team GCW versus Team JCW is Effie, Matt Tremont, Jimmy Lloyd, and John Wayne Murdoch representing Team GCW. Team JCW is Too Tough Tony, Mickey Knuckles, and the Brothers of Funstruction, I think it was. Two clowns.
The two clowns who were, they've been in NWA, they've been everywhere.
They never, it was a no contest. Both, like Pop said, members from both rosters, running in and out, going insane. They were fighting in the parking lot, fighting in the back, fighting in the streets. They ended up locking JCW out of the arena, so I would say GCW won.
Yeah,
next,
by
locking the
faggot, two guys there, the gay guys. Not that they're gay.
during Pride Month. That's crazy. Let's see.
Private.
Dog collar match. Joey Janela versus Atticus Cogar. Atticus Cogar cannot wrestle a match by himself. Joey Janela
That's why you have family.
lost, of course. Then they crucified Joey Janela on a barbed wire cross.
Yeah, they fucking raven his ass.
They did raven him.
And fucking chains and shit. Oh, it was fucking crazy. I'm
and
telling you, that show was that show that I watched, even though I just watched parts of it. was probably better than the majority of the PLEs or whatever pay-per-views that I've ever watched on WWE.
Yeah, because it was. And then in the main event, it was Miedo Extremo versus Ciclope in a cage of survival match. Two tag team partners, the Los Masitos. Great team from GCW.
After you said that, I figured out who they were.
I'm gonna pull this clip.
And when I was like, I don't know who they are.
I hope this loads because this wasn't even the finish to the match. Oh, I did that.
I'll have to go. Oh, shit.
Powerbomb from the scaffolding through a triple decker.
That was some fucking, what was it?
Shoulders.
Also off a scissor lift. Bear Bronson and Slade
On his shoulders.
opened the show.
Yeah, that Slade is fucking amazing. And Bear Bronson, I didn't know Bear Bronson had it in him.
Now, hold on. I'm going to pause this. When you're going to look at the pillar. See the pillar in the back? See that
Yeah.
big stain?
Yeah.
That's Bear Bronson's blood. And then you can see the light tubes very close to Slade's eye. Very close to the arteries in his armpit.
You know, I think Zaki Monster would do really great in GCW.
He would. I would love to see it.
Would love to see it, right? Mickey Knuckles. I know Mickey Knuckles fought for the other team, though. That's what I didn't understand.
Well, Mickey Knuckles is, she doesn't like GCW that much.
Yeah.
Last thing on our bullet points list is talk about AEW. Talk about that 4-hour excursion we
Let's
had.
talk about AEW. I tried to put that to let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
The great,
I know.
yeah,
It wasn't that good.
salt and pepper.
Great show. They had that 4-hour show.
Right, and they're doing a 4-hour show again this week.
And they're doing another 4-hour show again this week. I'm trying to get to the other card. They post a lot.
They do, but they the first 4 hours. I mean, I like how they made you think that it was like broken up type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Because like the first 2 hours was Dynamite, and the second 2 hours was Collision.
Tony Khan posts too much.
He likes to keep people informed. Oh shit!
There we go. So we will hear from the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business came out and talked. They did some stuff. Will Ospreay talked. Nick Wayne defended his title in a 4-way. Won that.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know.
LaFaction and
Wayne's growing on me.
Angolan, I don't know. The fucking team with Roosh. What's his name? And the Beast Mortos versus Commander Kevin Knight and Speedball. That was a great match.
That was a good match.
Who won that match? Was it Speedball?
Yeah, it was Speedball in them, I thought, for sure.
Yeah. They won. They won the trios match. They
Never got the pin.
which set up them getting
Yes, she did.
which set up them getting to go up against the Hurt Business this week on Wednesday. Tekla, the Toxic Spider, had her in-ring debut. That was great. She's cool as shit.
That's Will Ospreay's wife?
No. Will Ospreay's wife is Alex Windsor, I think.
So she was at this show? Was she an announcer?
I don't remember. This is a week ago.
Well, I'm asking, well, I'm not so much asking, I think I'm asking Blue.
Well, she announced that she was all elite on an indie show in their hometown. Not hometown, but their home state. Then we had FTR versus Atlantis Jr. in Templario. I'm butchering names. It's okay. FTR won. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa won against Julia Hart and Sky Blue with Mercedes Moné on commentary eating steak. It was all stupid. John Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. John Moxley won by suffocating Mark Briscoe. Submitting
Good
him.
match, though.
He didn't
Good
tap.
match.
He quite literally passed
That's right.
out.
He's never tapped out to him.
Brody King versus Kenny Omega versus Mascara Dorado versus Claudio. Kenny Omega wins. And as he's standing in the ring at the end of the show,
The Rainmaker.
the Rainmaker's music hits. And out comes Okada. Okada versus Omega.
And he's not gonna maybe he won't announce it. David announces right then and there that those two will be going at each other at the pay-per-view. Title versus title. I'm not gonna lie.
Getting ready to say
You
that.
said,
And
oh, okay.
yeah. So I had said it that it was going to be title versus title, winner takes all. And then, yeah, it was. They announced at the end of the show, the end of that first 2 hours, and then they did. I don't know where the fuck
Was it Bubba?
Hey, he's
Bubba-
chewing on plastic.
Yeah, Bubba's he's gonna defend his pop-up. He hears I'm getting some shit from a cat. He's like, yo, what's up?
You should just stop talking. To go over this week's Dynamite, we got Tekla versus Queen Aminata, Kyle Fletcher versus Anthony Bowens, Mystico returns, Ty J versus Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. We didn't talk about that. Ty Mello made her AEW return.
Yes, she did.
Then we have the Hurt Syndicate versus Speedball Commander and Kevin Knight. We have Tony Storm versus Julia Hart with Mercedes Moné on commentary. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland 2 in a Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada contract signing. That is a 4-hour event this Wednesday.
Gonna be good. I'm sorry, they're weekly shows. Even knowing, it's a 4-hour extravaganza, I stayed awake for the whole 4 hours. I could fall asleep in a WWE 2-hour show, but I can't.
Exactly.
I have a hard time.
There was, I knew I didn't talk about something on the
What?
On the GCW weekend, call it.
Ah.
There was the GCW Hall of Fame ceremony, and I had to watch that one. Obviously, after it happened. The GCW Deathmatch Hall of Fame was this weekend. I can't find the fucking post from it. The people who were inducted were Too Tough Tony, Scrawny Shawnee. I think there was one more. Scrawny Shawnee is one of the ring guys who helped set up like all the like Cage of Destruction and sets everything up.
Yes, we forgot to mention that one because we didn't make a prediction on that one. But it's because they added it earlier in the day.
Yeah, Octagon versus Dominic I thought it was a good match.
I agree though that Octagon should have won, but you're not going to take it off of and put it on.
WWE's not that stupid. They already let a TNA wrestler. TNA is dumb because they let their titles go to other companies. WWE's not going to be that selfish or that generous, I should say. But the Deathmatch Hall of Fame 2025, Mean and Hard, Too Tough Tony, Scrawny Shawnee, and our friend Jeff Cannonball. I'm trying to see who inducted people. Whatever. Tony Deppen inducted Jeff Cannonball. Violent J inducted Too Tough Tony. And I don't remember who inducted. Nick Manawa inducted Mean and Hard. I don't remember who inducted Scrawny Shawnee.
But that was 4 names that were synonymous.
Oh, Zandig. Zandig inducted Scrawny Shawnee. But Jeff Cannonballs, that was the one I was looking forward to the most of watching and listening to. And I unfortunately had told Pops I'm glad we didn't watch it together because I cried like a baby.
But it was okay because I would have cried too.
I held it together until he started talking and got up and he did his spiel. Even like seeing the reactions on Twitter, Danny DeMonto tweeted out, "I'm crying. I'm so proud of you, Jeff. Cannonball forever." He, as everyone knows, he was diagnosed with ALS, and he looked at it. He looked at it as he was the Make-A-Wish kid for this year's.
Still joking.
For this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. Joking, obviously, because that's the kind of guy he is. But bringing up Jeff Cannonball, his GoFundMe was donated to by a pretty cool person.
He does this all the time. Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban did donate to the GoFundMe of Jeff Cannonball, which I thought was fucking awesome. And that's it. And then we'll talk about, let's see, 14 days, 2 weeks from now? No. Hold on. Oh, 16 days. 16 days from now, I will be leaving the state of Ohio to go to West Springfield and Enfield, Connecticut, to go to the Luau for Blitzkrieg.
David's coming home.
So there will be,
Coming home. And, yeah.
depending on my schedule that week, we will either stream Monday or Tuesday. And then there will be a vlog for the Luau. Be a Luau vlog. Yeah, that's it.
You can see us in the wild.
Yeah, see us in the wild. There's been no other matches announced. Spike, independent wrestler Spike, has been added to the Mother of All Scrambles. And that's it.
Mm.
If you want to do your shout outs, go ahead, do that.
It's time for the shout outs. Shout out number one. Going out to a man, Jeff Cannonball. I want to, first of all, begin by saying you deserve every bit of being in the Hall of Fame. And I'm glad to see and hear that from what I heard from David and from what I've seen on the internet and this and that you're not going to let it fucking beat you. And that, you know what's going to happen, but you're still trying to stay yourself as long as you can. With that said, my number two, Mr. Cuban. For doing that, the man is pretty a decent kind of guy, and that's what he does all around, and this and that. I was just watching a bar rescue where he came in, where a hurricane had taken over someplace and this and that, and he helped donate all the money and stuff like that to rebuild these people's bar and a place like that. He's the kind of owner. He kind of reminds me of like he gives back. He doesn't forget where he came from. So, Mark Cuban, you get number two, and number three is going to the company of GCW. Because they stuck behind their guys and this and that, and they're like a family orientation. One gets hurt or something happens to one of them, they all feel the pain and this and that. So there you go. They're just an awesome company, and a lot of companies should learn how to be like them. As far as wrestling companies, independent wrestling companies, I know of a few that are, but you know what I'm saying. They're some of them, and then I know of some companies that are totally horrible to their people and this and that. So there's my shout-outs for the week. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing a theme lately. My shout-outs.
Gotcha.
That would be interesting.
My
We
shout
can see
outs
if it can happen.
this week are to
Sorry.
oh no, shit.
See. That's why I have to go first. The other day.
shout out to Bear Bronson for putting on a hell of a opener, and congratulations on your deathmatch debut. Coinciding with that is also shout out to Gabby Forza, who Bear had put a appreciation post about her, about how good she was, and letting everyone know that he was okay after the match and everything like that. Shout out to everyone here. Thanks for stopping by and being here. I know it's a cheap
Yeah, but it's one that like automatic, like every week. Like last year, we were saying that should be like it's an automatic. It's like our fourth shout out. We usually give the three, but the fourth shout out is usually But because without you guys, if you guys weren't here and you guys weren't watching, what would be the reason for us doing this?
You know what? Shout out to my boy Alan Nadu. You will definitely see him in the Luau vlog. That man is the life of the party. And then it being Pride Month, I will shout out a couple LGBT wrestlers. Nixon Newell, formerly known as Tegan Knox. Kid Bandit. And the last one this week is going to be CPA. And we're going to raid its Mastodon.
CPA?
Yes.
Or
We're going to raid its Mastodon. We'll do Mastodon.
Mastodon? Oh, okay, Mastodon. I don't know who you're talking about.
Send out those hashtags. RTPW will be making a return very soon. We just need to get our roster going. Send out those hashtags. Let them know we sent you. We'll see you guys next week.